Good morning. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And here's Charlie with the announcements.
Good morning, everyone. It's Friday, September 12th. It's Friday, and I already said that, and it's a white day. Don't forget, school photos will be taken next week on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Mr. Legge will be set up on Fuller Stage between 8:15 and 3 each day. There's no cost to have your photo taken, but prints may be purchased using the form you received in advisory. Juniors and seniors, the deadline to register for the school day PSAT and SAT is Monday, September 15th at 3 p.m. Please see Mrs. Labounty with any questions. Endicott College is on campus today for a visit. Please see Naviance or Mrs. Labounty for details and to register. Be sure to check in with your teacher before attending. Any international student needing to take the October 11th TOEFL must register with Mrs. McCaffrey in Colby 206 no later than 12 p.m. on September 19th. Academy alumna Rachel Fickus and UVM's John Franklin will be running an ancient Greek music workshop e-block in Colby 309. If you have a free block and would like to attend, please email Mrs. Callanan by 1:30 today. There will be a mandatory meeting for this weekend's outing club trip right after school in the alumni gym. Reminder, you can pick up your Women Can Do registration packet from Mrs. Murphy in Streeter 208. If you enjoy spending time outside with friends, getting some exercise and helping others, then Bryn Waring has the perfect opportunity for you. Consider joining Bryn's team as they walk laps at the Wildflower Inn to raise money for the American Cancer Society on Saturday, September 20th. Look for signs around campus about Relay for Life for more details, but remember that it is not a race. Interested in joining the team or simply making a donation? Please speak with Bryn in person or via email or see Mrs. Moran's in Colby 206. Let's walk for cancer. Every month, Chef B does a random act of kindness and gifts a random advisory from each class with a box of delicious treats. Congratulations to this month's recipients. Drum roll, drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. Seniors, the Quinn Advisory. Juniors, the Kramer Advisory. Sophomores, the Farnham Advisory. And ninth graders, the Mitchell Advisory. All right. Advisors, please see Chef B for your treats. Happy birthday today to Donley Johnson and Anella Jenkins. Happy birthday tomorrow to Burke Donovan, Andrew Armstrong, Brody Mann, and Landon Mosier. And on Sunday to Lily Groft, Isaac Lanzini, Ethan Calcagni, Joshua Curtis, Jack Fan, Marion Rooney, Lucia Tenalia, and Victoria Lynn Losh. Holy birthdays. Happy birthday. Okay, today for sports. We have JV and varsity girls soccer home versus South Burlington at 4:30. JVB boys soccer at Woodsville at 4:30. Please dismiss the team at 2:30. Cheer at Colchester at 7. And varsity football at Colchester at 7. Please dismiss the team at 2:30. And then tomorrow we have varsity field hockey home versus Montpelier at 5:30. All right, that's it. Have a great Friday and a great weekend.
Thank you, Charlie. It's good to be back with you all. I have a few late announcements. Students, when you look around Fuller Hall, you may notice that there are fewer seats for advisors. If there is an empty seat in your row on a particular day, your advisor or another advisor may ask you to scoot down so they can sit too. We thank you in advance for your cooperation and kindness if an adult makes such a request. Varsity field hockey battled U32 last night, but fell short. They had a tremendous second quarter, but were unable to carry that momentum through the rest of the game. The JV team also fell short, but saw great work by multiple players, including Alice, Zoe, Paisley, and Layla, with 7 saves in goal. Keep trying, field hockey, keep trying. The boys' golf team placed second in their match at Cedar Knoll yesterday against CVU, Vergennes, and Rice. Mario Alvarez placed second individually at the tournament, and Jackson Cahoon played a great round in his first competitive match with the team. Good job, guys. Good golf. So it's good to be back with you all this morning. I want to thank Mr. Lenzini for running the show while I was away on a trip with Mrs. Katie in Chicago and California. We arrived back early this morning. Yesterday morning around this time, Mrs. Katie and I were at the Los Angeles airport, which if you've ever seen it, you'll know is an immense, loud, hectic place to be. We were in this airport terminal, just waiting, at the edges of the United Airlines security checkpoint because my bag had been pulled aside for inspection. In case you've never had this experience, it's when you put your carry-on bag on a conveyor belt that takes it through a scanner to make sure that there's nothing illegal or dangerous in it. Some of the strictness in this security measures dates from about 24 years ago, when we were awakened to the possibility that folks could bring dangerous things on planes in the aftermath of September 11th, 2001. And I believe Mr. Lenzini spoke with you about this day yesterday and asked you to observe a moment of silence. But since then, the security in airports has been a normal and pretty tiresome reality of flying life. But when your bag is coming out of the scanner and you're waiting for it at the other end of the conveyor belt, there's this moment when you really hope that it will continue to come toward you and that it will not be diverted onto another track, because the other track is the one that means there's something in your bag that the authorities want to look at some more. So when we were first flying out last week from Burlington, Mrs. Katie's bag was sent on this track as well. She was carrying a large number of gifts for the 25 or so alumni that we were planning to visit with on our trip. The gifts were little sets of coasters, which had been made in East Burke out of Vermont slate, with the St. Johnsbury Academy seal etched onto them. Apparently, when you put a large number of rocks in your carry-on bag, the Transportation Security Administration would like to understand that better. There's another moment when your bag goes down the wrong track, when you feel a sudden irrational fear about what you might have actually packed that would result in this inspection. So you don't think there's anything dangerous in your bag, but you've been tripped up by leaving a little bottled water in there sometimes. So I apologize to Mrs. Katie for the possibility that I had done this, and we waited at the edges of the checkpoint for my bag to be opened and examined. So we have an alum from the class of 1987 who lives in Los Angeles and has a coffee shop there called The Muddy Paw, where he roasts his own coffee and all the proceeds go to local animal shelters. So we held a small alumni gathering at The Muddy Paw on Wednesday night. A while ago, the alum hosting us had roasted some coffee especially for St. Johnsbury Academy and donated it to us to sell to support the school. And that night, on Wednesday night, he gave me and Mrs. Katie each a bag of this Hilltopper coffee in exchange for little pieces of slate from East Burke. So as I thought about what was in my bag, I realized that it was probably this bag of coffee that was the issue. So we waited. There were lots of bags to be inspected. Suddenly, at 9:11 a.m., a voice came over the airport loudspeaker in this huge United terminal. While usually this voice drones away, announcing flights, this morning the message was similar to Mr. Lenzini's to you yesterday. The voice asked us, all of us there in the United terminal, to observe a minute of silence in memory of the brave pilots and crew members on United planes, and all of those who died on September 11th, 2001. The voice asked us to remember and to locate in our hearts the moment of unity and compassion that happened here on that day, and try to retrieve it, to try to feel those things, unity and compassion. It took about 15 seconds for everyone to catch on, but slowly the silence descended and it became very complete. If you've ever been in a truly large and busy airport terminal, which can be like a large and crowded city street, you will know that you will never experience even a single moment of complete silence. So the silence that suddenly filled that airport yesterday morning was in its own way staggering. And as the seconds ticked by, the silence became more and more profound, and it seemed to last far beyond the minute. A single minute often feels a lot longer than you would think. When it was over, we were changed, at least for a little while. Yesterday, the finest voices in our country weighed in on the things that have happened in the last few days, prompted by the senseless killing of the politician Charlie Kirk. Our own senator here in Vermont, Bernie Sanders, who disagreed with Charlie Kirk about almost everything, insisted that there is no disagreement that justifies violence. Columnist Ezra Klein wrote the following: "The foundation of a free society is the ability to participate in politics without fear of violence. To lose that is to risk losing everything. Charlie Kirk and his family just lost everything. As a country, we come a step closer to losing everything, too. When political violence becomes imaginable, either as a tool of politics or a ladder for fame, it begins to infect hosts heedlessly. American politics has sides. There's no use pretending that it doesn't, but both sides are meant to be on the same side of a larger project. We are all, or most of us anyway, trying to maintain the viability of the American experiment. We can live with losing an election because we believe in the promise of the next election. We can live with losing an argument because we believe that there will be another argument. Political violence imperils that. So all of the things that have happened even in the last few days that have been divisive and scary, there is still a possibility for us to find our compassion and find our unity and agree that violence is not our way. I want you to be reminded as you go into your weekend, as I was reminded by meeting our alumni from the 60s and every decade since, that we are a school who knows who we are. We know that we promote understanding. We insist on kindness and endless respect for one another. We know that we do not stand for violence. There are things we can disagree about, things we can debate, but there are things that we do not debate, but that we simply must deny, and that we do deny. And we know that violence is one of those things. We sometimes need to be reminded of it by moments of silence or flags at half-staff, but we must deny it. Thank you for being a community that rejects violence of any kind, where we will find hope for you and for each other is in the kind of unity and compassion that can sometimes fill our hearts and that should fill our hearts today. Thank you, take care, and see you next week. Faculty.